Coach, the sun is set in Chicago. The temps have dipped and will continue to do so. Jacket and blanket weather. It's that time of year at Soldier Field. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Underway.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Get up! 180!
Mike 5-5.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today. Hey! Alert, alert! Alert, alert!
24. Check 4, check 4!
Hey, alert, alert! Alert, alert! Yep.
Trubisky gives to Cohen.
10. Got you, boy.
I got you, boy.
A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
25. 25. Check 25. Check 3. Check 3.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Alert. Hey, Delta.
25's the mic. We're going 25's the mic. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Let's go.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Second, 140.
Check 45's the mic. Hey, let's get that ball.
Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League.
Switch.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Another good carry there for the NFL's second leading rusher, and we've talked on air, off air about his MVP candidacy. Make a case for him.
Well, I'm just going to tell you point blank, it doesn't matter whether he's first or second or even third in the league in rushing yardage. That's not the main deal. It's how he gets those yards and the impact he has on his ball club.
Check out. Right, 40.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Block on 3rd down. Completes it to Austin. And he is going to have the first down as he gets this up to his own 11. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
Right, 622.
What's the run? They're running it.
11.
45 to Mike. 45 to
On 1st and 10, Love. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right. And got his man complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A run for Tony Pollard, the Memphis product. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
What we got?
Here's Love. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
You're not going anywhere, man. What are you doing? You can't get past me.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Here we go. Check three.
One man. Hey, check. Hey, exit.
Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Reggie.
Watch the pass. Here we go.
Go ahead.
Check 99.
Love.
Check three.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Mike. Let's go, tackle. Let's go.
From the gun, here's Love. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Eddie Goldman able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me just long enough for me to get there. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Let's go. Check 24. Check 24. Kill. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Now Trubisky to throw. This is caught by Robinson. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1.
Come on, watch 10. Tight end right.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Ready? 12. 45. Mike, 45. Let's go.
Hey, Alpha.
Let's go. 45. Mike, 45.
On 1st down, Locke. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. We're scoreless after 1. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you.
Now Locke. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
Here we go, G. Watch twist, watch. Hey, check. Twist. 11V.
A shotgun snap for Love. This to Jarwin. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. They'll run it with Elliott. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Sponge! 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 No, no, no!
Throwing his line. Flush to his right. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Hey, hey, watch it, watch it!
Hey, check 20, 12, 12, 12.
And 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic.
Luck now to throw. Got an open man, the tight end, Jarwin. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and he passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up the block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the safety creep. Monday.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Let's go.
It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Let's go. 540.
Here we go. Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on Ringo. Tight ends on Ringo.
Luck on 1st down. And that's Elliott, complete. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Check up.
190.
45 to Mike.
Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. He's coming. He's coming.
They'll run with Elliott.
Run.
Defenses always have a goal of holding a runner under 100 yards. Well, he went over 150 last week, won NFC Player of the Week award honors, And guess what? He's got a chance to do it again because of that vision he has. He sees holes that maybe don't exist.
Check out. All right, 6 and 5.
45. Check the outs. Check the out. Check the out.
Hey, check.
45.
Now a play fake here on first down. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Tavon Austin. His third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Motion. Mike 55. Come on, D. SOS. Blue. SOS.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Get up. 180.
Check 55.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. Finding Gabriel, complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I'm coming for you, son.
Alert.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That's good for 28 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Lock in.
First down, a run with Cohen. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
I'm going to hit you.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield. and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he's able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
The Bears on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12.
Key the tight end. 4 down. Alert. Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50. I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine.
Hey, Echo.
You're all mine.
Out of the gun, Trubisky.
We own them.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Let's go.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the...
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game.
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
Ran, tough.
55 is my guy, 55. Bandit. He's checking.
80 weapon.
He's checking, son. Crash.
Ran, tough.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Trubisky. And the pressure gets to him again. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3.
Let's go, fellas.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. That's complete to Cobb. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them.
Check out. 675.
Off of play action. Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Aaron Lynch in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now Love. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And taken right at the 35. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10.
Trump, 180.
Exit, exit. Watch twist. Watch twist.
Hey, 18.
We got it.
On 1st down, Trubisky. That's complete to Robinson. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
6-man. Check curls.
Alert. Red, tuck. Under crunch. Motion. Check 52. Check 31.
Now Trubisky. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Well, they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets.
Tighten up. Watch the edge.
Lock in.
Switch gears.
On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Alert. Y'all playing the wrong football.
Slam. Shit.
Check 50.
They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try the counter here. Cohen. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Tariq Cohen, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
You go tight. Mexico. You got tight right there.
They go to Elliott again. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10.
Stay with your man.
Check it backer.
Let's go, Mexico.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line.
Yeah, baby.
Roquan Smith, fresh off a solid rookie campaign, in on the tackle for Chicago. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm coming.
Good carry now for Elliott. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Go. Green 80.
I'm scared. Kill.
And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Who that?
11.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
12. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Go.
Hey, 58 is the Mike. Go, 58's the Mike.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Okay, baby, I see you.
Clinton Dix, the former Packer, in on the tackle.
2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch the boot. 58's the Mike. 58's the Mike.
12. Come on, boy.
They'll try the air now with Locke. Completes it to Austin. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 21.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
58.
Go. Ready.
I'm coming.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ride 40.
Get ready. 12. 26 Mike. It's been a long day for you.
Hey, orbit.
On 1st down, Locke outright completes it to Jarwin. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
You got him. You got him.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Showing it.
11 feet.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was, and making sure they didn't get there.
And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8.
Here we go.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. Now Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Okay, baby, let's go. Let's go.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field. Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Watch tight end. 4 down, 4 down. Eyes on 10. Eyes on 10.
Now it's Trubisky. And he completes it to Cohen. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Right there.
When a linebacker's able to sit at the 2nd level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. 25 yards that time. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 14 yards into Chicago, 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Check 37. Check 37.
Red, up.
The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Smooth.
Hey, we got Mike 50. Mike 50, huh? Watch the run. Watch the run.
Here's Trubisky to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Here comes the
Anthony Brown there on the tackle.
A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 2.
Hey, 18.
Watch 85. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. He's coming. Double up. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
22 jet bomber.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5.
Red, talk.
This is our time.
Hey, Haywood.
Watch the ship, watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
3rd and 2, now Trubisky. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
You're going to see me in your nightmares. Hey, seam 6.
It's coming, 41 to Mike.
Don't let him breathe. Don't.
Here we go. It's Trubisky on 4th down. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 14 yards in a Chicago first down. Trubisky now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10.
Hey, alert. Hey, Zoo.
I got you.
Alert.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. This one into the hands of Burton. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Get up. Right, 80.
50. Let's go, defense. Our time.
Move. 5. Hey, 18.
Out. 30.
Alert. Red, talk.
Now Trubisky on 1st down. He finds Robinson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 14 yards in a Chicago 1st down.
50. Check Mike 50.
Move.
I'm coming after you. Check 43.
Alert.
Hey, alert. Mike's 50.
Hey, wahoo.
Hey, Mike 50.
Hey, ball.
Looking to throw Trubisky on 1st down. And that's caught for a Bear touchdown. It's the tight end, Trey Burton. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears get a bit closer. Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Watch the run.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. Got some room at the 30 and all the way up to the 37-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
49, check 49, check 49.
Elliott.
Run!
Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Throwing now, Luck. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
Boom! That's how we do it.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's Elliott. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end.
That's it, baby. That's
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Dallas, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, it's a loss that could have implications on the playoff race as they fall to 9-4. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.